This is not ordinary Fortnite. This is Blitz Royale. In this limited time mode, all matches are only 5 minutes long, which virtually guarantees non-stop action from the moment you drop in. And speaking of dropping in, today I'm going to be dropping into Blitz Royale 100 times to get a feel for this new mode and also improve my own skills at playing Fortnite. Before we begin, as always, I want to give a big shout out to YouTuber Luke TheNotable, who was the first to undertake the 100 Drops challenge. A link to his channel will be in the description of this video. But that's enough intro for one day. I dropped Blitz Royale 100 times, and this is what happened. Here's game number 1 of Blitz Royale. Don't worry, I'm going to try and explain some of the little quirks of this mode as we go along. In Blitz Royale, everyone starts with the same randomized mythic item and medallion to give them special powers. And I used my mythic dual revolvers to eliminate this guy from Retail Row. Someone tried to third party, but he didn't last very long. See that number on the right of my screen? That's my Blitz level. When you survive and get kills in Blitz Royale, that's going to level up and gift you some mythic items that you can use to fight against your enemies. I realised it was only me and 2 other players left in the match, and really quickly, one of those guys died, so it was time to push. And with a few well-placed revolver shots, I was able to win the very first game of Blitz Royale. If that felt like a very brief explanation, then don't panic, because everything about Blitz Royale is brief. The storm moves incredibly fast to get that 5 minutes per game, so you've got to always be on the move. But I still had enough time to kill this guy. Trying to stay one step ahead of that fast-moving storm, but I keep getting shot at. Now it's a 1 vs 1, but I get beamed pretty bad. And unfortunately for me, it lands me right in 2nd place. Something major that I haven't mentioned yet about Blitz Royale is that all building is completely disabled. This mode is heavily dependent on your ability to hit your shots, which means it's a great place to practice your aim. I managed to get this guy with the cheeky mythic revolvers. This match I had the aspect of agility medallion, which means I could use super speed to zap down here and blow this guy's head off with a shotgun. I cleaned out any competition. Then I snuck up on this guy for one of the freest kills of my life. Because people can't build, it's far harder for them to protect themselves while healing, which leads to moments like that. 1 vs 1 and I spy the remaining player in a house across the street, so I zip over there and use my shotgun to secure the victory royale. This mode is starting to feel like a lot of fun. And it would seem that my skills continued into game number 4, where I went on an absolute killing spree. Final circle and I get a sneak attack kill on this guy. And with a blast of my shotgun I get the back-to-back victory royales. Did you know crown wins actually count in this mode? I've seen people with like 50 plus crown wins after this came out. But I would not be getting a crown win in game number 5. Game number 6, I'm picking people off from high vantage. And when I was pushed, I didn't even realise this was the last player in the match. But you know I'll always take a win. Game number 7, the last player turned into a literal demon creature. What is this? It's alright, I won. Definitely wasn't scared at all. Oh, and that's back-to-back again. Let's go. Game number 8, I was shotgunned just trying to loot up in Retail Row. And in game number 9, this Street Fighter skin made sure I would never see the light of day again. In game number 10, Hatsune Miku was not playing around. Game number 11, I'm trying the high ground strat again. And you know, it was working pretty good. I killed this guy and then tried to flee with my mythic rocket ram, only to get absolutely obliterated mid-air. Then in game number 12, this guy came out of nowhere and sent me straight back to the lobby. You know, I'm really starting to build up a liking for the Fury Assault Rifle. Didn't stop game 13 from ending in tragedy though. Game 14, that quick storm I was talking about earlier overtakes me, and I don't last much longer. Game 15, I'm dropping at Retail Row again. If you've seen my other videos, you know I like familiarity with the POI. Managed to snag a kill or 2 while I was here. In Blitz, a single gold llama spawns every match, and you can get some pretty good loot out of it if you can get there first. What's crazy is this exact thing used to be clickbaited like 7 years ago, and now it's actually in the game. I went back to Retail Row and cleared people off my property. And a good shotgun blast is always satisfying. The last guy in the match pushed me, and I was able to get yet another victory royale. All sunshine and rainbows when you win a game of Fortnite. Then in game 16, this guy hit his shots, and I didn't. And in game 17, the Fortnite FBI raided my house. Game number 18, it's a top 2 situation, and I get the last guy insanely low, but unfortunately I lose the match. As a man who dropped Salty Springs 100 times once said, it's time to lock in. Oh, by the way, I'm playing with a friend now. Yeah, game number 20 did not go as well as the last one. Game 21, my friend goes down and it becomes a 1v2. Thankfully, I evened the odds nice and fast. And with a risky peek, I claim the victory royale. Not gonna lie, I thought I was finished. But in game 22, I actually was finished. Game 23, I prayed the rocket ram would take me to safety. Those prayers were not answered. In game 24, I could only watch on as my friend was murdered. I tried to go for the reboot, but the enemies were camping the van. Yeah, I should have known that would happen. 3 second places in a row, god damn. Game 25, my friend found the pom-poms that turn you into a demon. Of course we were gonna win. Okay, side note, these things are really overpowered. Epic, please nerf them. Game 26 started with some blasting. And I carried on blasting as we moved into the circle. Hyperburst pistol is a slept-on weapon. Oh god, it's a demon creature. You don't need to know what happened, but I'm now carrying my friend's lifeless body. And after getting him back on his feet, we proceeded to win the match. Cheeky back-to-backs to make up for the losing streak. Game 27, I should not have pushed this shield bubble. Game 28, the last guys demolished my friend and then came and wiped me off the face of the earth. And we aren't going to talk about Game 29. In Game 30, there's only one guy left and we hear him trying to go for a reboot, so we quickly rush and claim our win. That is 11 wins so far. Back to solos in Game 31. This match, my medallion let me turn invisible while sprinting, which was great for pushing people. I brought the might of Zeus down on my enemies. And shortly after, I was able to get myself the win. Game 32, I wasn't as lucky. Game 33, I managed to get the jump on this guy. I even made it to the Golden Llama. Right after that, I was pushed, but this guy was no match for me. Okay, maybe it has more to do with the Mythic Fury AR in my inventory, but I'm gonna cite skill as the reason. See, what a skillful victory royale. I was pushed by Max Payne in Game 34. Still won, though. You know what? I'm never going to get tired of saying it. Back to back. Game 35, it was over. He had the high ground. It's quite impressive how I missed literally every shot in Game 36. But I didn't miss my shot in Game 37. I rocket rammed straight into the final circle in Game 38. I took out this guy but barely had any health left. Thankfully for me, the final guy died in Storm for a pretty anticlimactic back-to-back wins. In Game 39, my enemy whipped out the spray and pray meta on me. Game 40 is the second time I've been deleted from the skies trying to use the rocket ram. Game 41, I was detected by this guy's tracking visor and then ruthlessly hunted down. The sweats came knocking in Game 42, but thankfully I survived. A nice chug jug can solve most problems. The circle was getting outrageously small, so I had to chase the last guy into Storm in order to secure the win. In game 43, I was pancaked into the pavement in the first few seconds of the match. In game 44, I tried to use a shotgun at mid-range and get absolutely demolished. Then in game 45, I tragically fumbled for second place. Game 46, I was viciously pursued until I met my end. Game 47, I'm making use of that good old invisible sprint to get the jump on people. I spotted one wounded player limping away from the storm, shot him down and got the victory. Game 48, I tried to fight this Renegade Raider. I never said I succeeded. And game 49 is another instance of me not succeeding. Then in game 50, this guy just had better aim. Game 51, I didn't even make it past the opening seconds of the match. Game 52 started with me killing this guy near the big metal llama. And the third party for good measure. The supply drops in Blitz can give you extra medallions to help give you an edge over your enemies. However, even with an extra medallion, I still lost. Game 53, it was open warfare in this field, and I didn't make it. Game 54 had been going great, but in the final circle it was me versus one of the demon creatures, and I honestly have no idea what you're meant to do in this situation. Game 55, I tried to kill a guy, but I got third party. Game 56, I got jumped by the Doomslayer himself. Then in game 57, my positioning was awful. In game 58, I was pulling out aim that looks a little bit like this.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Game 59. But I focused up in game 60 and took down everyone in that final circle for a win. I'm pushing into some early game fights in game 61. To help with mobility in Blitz, there's some golden rifts all over the map that can be used to glide far distances, so I made use of one of them for rotating into the circle. I even nabbed the golden llama again. My loot was absolutely supreme, of course I was going to win this. Unfortunately, a collision with a rocket ram ruined any chance I had of winning game 62. But in a surprising turn of events, the rocket ram became my ally in this match. Water dampened the impact of my tactical nuclear strike in game 64. What is it with the rocket ram these last few games, honestly? Running from a monster with all my might in game 66. Funnily enough, the guy was a lot easier to kill in human form. In game 67, I lost the revolver duel. And in game 68, a sweat skin reared their head, so I knew I was done for. In game 69, a monster from the depths of Fortnite hell was sent to ruin my match. Then in game 70, my sneak attack from this bush did not go as intended. There's a whole lot of missing going on in game 71. Game 72 was a strange one because I genuinely didn't see anyone for the entire match, so I only ended up getting one kill. But it was the only kill that mattered. Then in game 73, I got smashed into next week. Started off game 74 by defending my drop spot. There's a boosted spawn rate of epic chests in Blitz, meaning you can get some very easy good loot at the start of the game. You can then use that loot to eviscerate people. Yeah, retail was just a total war zone this game. I left Retail Road drenched in the blood of my enemies, eager to kill some more. Saw the last guy and used a quick double shotgun blast to win the game.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, what he said. Game 75 ended for me with a skirmish and storm that I completely fumbled. Then game 76 came crashing down before my eyes. Game 77, even godly lightning powers couldn't save me. The footage for game 78 appears to just be gone. But I came second again, so that sucks. Oh, and speaking of coming second, game 79. In game 80, I hid myself on top of this house and prepared to shoot everybody from the vantage point. I'm gonna be honest, it went very well. Told ya. Me and my friend are back in duos for game 81. Started looting up supply drops for those extra medallions. But that doesn't help when you get killed by an identical sweat skin duo. The final duo in game 82 appeared to have an army of shield bubbles on their side. We pushed in, but got completely wiped. In game 83, my friend was getting mega blasted trying to come out of zone, so I laid down some covering fire to help him out. Popped the revive behind a tree and then we got on the move. I could see the last guy was stuck on low ground, so I quickly pushed in and shot him down for the win. In game 84, I'm racking up kills like crazy. And yes, it did feel good to take down a soccer skin for the victory royale. I swear soccer skins were like the boogeymen of Chapter 1 Fortnite.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
Game 85, I nearly clutched the 1v2. I said nearly. Game 86, my friend finishes a knocked enemy in the most dramatic way possible. Yeah, then we died. The enemy was a better shot than me in game 87. I died valiantly defending a store in Retail Row in game 88. Gobbling up supply drops in game 89. And I'm back to rocket ramming. I crash down right in front of where the last guy is, jump on up and blast him away for the victory royale. We are rocking the double Sabrina Carpenter duo in game 90. Realistically, these guys had no chance. Okay, this has to be my favourite thing I've done with the rocket ram, launching into the air to take out both the last guys in one fell swoop. I tried to pull a heroic rescue for my friend in game 91. It didn't work. You know, this free Blitz Night skin you can earn from this mode is pretty damn good. Just like killing the guy who tried to take your drop. We rifted out. These things are great for helping to escape the storm. Dropped onto high ground and just started demolishing all the other players. And you know I'm lethal with a Fury AR in my hands. My friend pushed the last guy and got us the win. Game 93 would regretfully be brought to an end by a very sweaty player. But game 94 would be a lot better. I brought down the lightning on one of the last teams. Even in the shield bubble, no one is safe. We cleaned these guys up, leaving us with only one team left to face. And damn, that was fast. I died early in game 95, so my friend was going to try and clutch up. It was worth a try. Game 96 just went terribly. And what do you know, so did game 97. I got out damaged in game 98. My friend put up a good fight, but we still died. Across these 100 games, I think I've gotten really good at dealing with more hectic situations than I'm used to in regular Fortnite. The action feels like it never stops in Blitz Royale, and that's really helped me improve and get some great wins like this. And so as we get to game 100, I find myself filled with gratitude for Blitz Royale and the fast-paced fun it's brought to Fortnite. Started off with the usual, shooting, shooting, and more shooting. But I don't think you even need me to tell you that by now. Oh, and you know we had to use the lightning powers one more time. We realised it was us and one last guy, so we got ready to spray and pray like our lives depended on it. And with that, we were able to win game number 100 and conclude this challenge. Blitz Royale is a fantastic mode, and it's really invigorated my passion for this game. It really shows that Epic can still make fantastic LTMs, just like back in the day of Chapter 1. I racked up a whopping total of 33 wins and 339 kills when playing Blitz Royale. This is the highest I've ever gotten in a 100 drops video, but obviously it was a little easier given this is an LTM. This has been an amazing time as always, and I'm sure soon I'm going to be dropping back into Fortnite another 100 times. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss that video. With that said, that's all, folks.